very, very important
We've
to
also got to
pay attention.
We've also got to decide. Sorry,
go ahead. Go. No,
we've
no,
also
you
got to
carry on.
decide what we consider good news. You know, the forecast is 5.1%, but is the market going to be happy with 5.1%?
Guys, mute yourself, please.
Let me just take a second to mute everyone quickly, and then we can continue.
Hello.
Hey.
Sorry, Fee, just unmute yourself again.
Oh yeah, sorry. I wanted to say that I didn't know people were unmuted. They could have just screamed, "What's up?" Shoot, can you unmute everybody?
Okay, I just allowed everyone to unmute themselves. They can say what's up right now.
Okay, guys, you can just
What's
unmute
up,
yourself and say what's up. Scream what's happening.
To get rich.
Yo. Nice one. I love the energy.
Let's go.
What's going on? Right in the chat as well. How you doing? What are you expecting?
What's up?
Nice.
Great
to be back.
Yo,
Great to be back.
yo.
A lot of
Great
offers
tunes,
today.
great tunes. What's going on?
Nice. All right. It's cool. Jackie, I think we can unmute everybody. I mean, mute everybody. It was fun. Nice. 35 income and 25.
There you go, Fee. Just unmute yourself. I muted everyone.
Cool.
So
sorry.
the other important event we got today is the Ethereum Shanghai upgrade, and that takes place in 11 hours 20 minutes from now. And,
could you like touch up on like what do you expect? What is going to happen? You think?
Well, it's an important update for the Ethereum staking. Now, if we have a look at some of these events that's happened in the past, there's a saying that goes around that buy the rumor and sell the news, where we've seen a lead up into the event where the price pumps, and then we have a sell-off after the event. And if you look at the current Ethereum price, we're currently at 1871. Yesterday, we went up to about 1950. But more importantly, we've got a massive resistance area at about 2000. But besides that, you know, if we have a push through that $2,000 level in the next day or two, I think that could potentially start the altcoin season. Just remember how cash flows in crypto. It starts first of all in Bitcoin, and we've seen that over the last couple of months, how cash has flowed more into Bitcoin. We see Bitcoin, and we've seen that dominance go up. It then normally goes from Bitcoin into the major alts, which obviously includes the second biggest altcoin, which is Ethereum, and from there into the mid caps and then to the small caps. So if we see a move on Ethereum, and those traders that are sitting in Bitcoin currently, they might jump ship now and go into Ethereum, and we might have a nice push up in Ethereum in the next couple of days, which could potentially start an altcoin season. So that is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at Ethereum price very closely over the next couple of hours into the next day or two.
Totally, 100% agree. And it's also, you know, a lot we have to understand that a lot of times I did not know in the beginning that we have to take care and have to pay attention to these economic events that happen. CPI, PPI, unemployment claims, all that kind of stuff is super relevant for us. And this could very well be a catalyst for all markets or the crypto market as well as a risk asset to start climbing at highs. And because alts didn't move, Sheldon is also talking about it a lot, that, you know, Bitcoin is just simply dominating. It's just, you see Bitcoin moving and alts kind of pop in, and there's Solana flying, and, you know, there are some coins that we've talked about in the past week that are flying, but in general we can't say that we are having or seeing a decent alt moving. So we really gotta pump them up, and I think it will be a great time to, like, I really do expect that if we get a decent data today, that markets will pump. And also, it's very important. I really truly believe that this week, this is why I'm not trading this week. This is why I avoided trading until now, is because this is just manipulation. So if you see you've got very decent breakouts on lots of coins and they dump right back down, breaking the lows, the recent lows, it's just wide west right now, in my opinion. So it's very, very important to let the dust settle after we have this event, and then see where we at, what coins retrace, what coins that broke trend retrace. I'm still very bullish on H-bar. We had I shared it in one of the sessions, H-bar, yeah, and also on Twitter. I'm actually, full disclosure, I also have a bag fish bar, but it's rather
Let's
rather
take
right.
a look. Let's take a look.
Yeah, let's take a look. Yeah.
Mm.
You want to share? Should I share? Or?
Yeah, no, I've got it here. Let me open the screen.
I think
H-
while you're
oh.
bringing that up, I did watch a couple information things on the Ethereum unlock or the Shanghai upgrade, and it was very interesting the way Ethereum is approaching actually releasing those the ETH that I staked. So they've got it in two stages. They have a partial unlock and then the full unlock. And with the partial unlock, the initial release of those coins will be the coins over and above the 32 ETH. That was the initial staking volume. So if you've got, say, an extra 2 ETH, so you've got 34 ETH, 2 ETH of which is your rewards or your earnings from the staking, that'll automatically get transferred to your wallet in the partial unlock. And then the remaining 32, they will limit according to how many people are actually selling. And that amount, so if everybody's selling, they're going to limit to 2 or 3 or whatever ETH per day or per week, and it's going to reduce after a certain period. But in order to get your full 32 ETH out and sell it on the market, will take their estimated 520 days. So it's not like we're going to get $4 billion or whatever worth of ETH hitting the market tonight or in 11 hours time. They do, to protect the network,
be a
they
slow
do have
drip,
a
right?
staged approach.
But it's also
it.
important to note that it's not like everybody getting it and immediately selling it on the market. So it's not, we don't know
Correct.
what people's psychology. So it's not a guaranteed sell-off. It's just, it's just a fact that some people get some coins that they had logged, or they get rewards for coins that they logged. It does not necessarily mean that, I think, to be very honest with you, I think they would be stupid to sell now. Like, we are, as Jason just explained, we are sitting right at that resistance. So if we can break through, they can easily make another 40 or 30-40% on their coins. So I don't think it makes a lot of sense to sell now. Maybe they offload some risk, but it's nothing, especially in a coin like Ethereum.
It depends how much crypto you're holding,
Mm.
like guys that are holding loads of bags of crypto can't understand that somebody would want to sell, but some guys like to play in and out, so we'll just have to watch.
Yeah, but people wouldn't lock, would they? Like, if they like to pay in and out, would they? Do you think these are the people that would actually just sell for a quick profit?
Yeah, look, different types, different types.
Yeah.
So look at this. So who was trading H bar? Was that you?
I'm trading HBAR, yeah.
Okay, nice. Are you long? What's the story? Is it a spot position?
I see Jason. Jason is just drawing it up. I draw it a little bit differently.
Yeah.
And I actually think that was a decent breakout we had on the 64.20 level. So I think
what time frame are you looking at?
I'm looking at the 4 hour, 1 hour, 4 hour.
Okay, let's wipe this thing out. 1 hour.
But I can also share my screen and just
share your screen. Let's take a
what
look.
I've got here. Okay, let me see. Okay, do you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, it's just it's so annoying, but the Zoom is popping up all around. I can't use my trading view. Okay, here we go. Sorry, I just gotta sort this out. Okay, so you see my chart, right? Cool. So what I'm thinking is that, and this is what I tweeted as well, right here. We had this small tiny breakout here. So what I think that we had this is a very great supply, demand area, this here. So we are if you look at the higher time frames, we are in a very decent area of demand right here. And what my theory is, or what I'm thinking, is that we had a very nice OB here as well that got touched. So this was my entry, actually. Where was it? Yeah, it was on the shorter time frame. I defined it. I think it was right here. Yes. So this was my entry, this here. So I entered around these areas here. And then I said that if we're going to break this high, this was the recent high. So if we break this, we're probably going to move because there's an extreme liquidity pool up here. But what happened is really what I think, and this is why I only got a tiny position here, is because I think that this pump was due to the manipulation that's happening because of the weekly events. So my basic idea is that this liquidity is now has been touched, but I still think now we're touching this OB. And if we get decent news, I think we have to start going up. This is a reversal area. We made a. This is okay. So the reason why I'm saying that this is concerning me is because we broke this low that I consider to be a new low that could potentially be creating the higher highs that it actually did here, even on the 4 hour. But I'm still thinking that the reason why we came back down here is because of the manipulation that's happening because of the data coming out today and tomorrow and Friday. So my basic idea of H bar is that we had this trend on the 4 hour, massive amount of liquidity being built up here. Then I thought we're gonna come up here and then retest this level, but we again shot through, and then we should be starting making higher highs and higher lows. And because there's literally nothing, the market cannot. Maybe we'll touch. I've drawn these two. I drawn 3 lines, so 3 entries I had. This was one that I told you before. And then this was my second. We just got touched now. And it still doesn't show in the reaction that I really want to see. So this might be enough for us to get a wick down here with this volatility that's just going to happen. And I have an aggressive entry here. So I have an aggressive entry here.
Yeah, I agree with that level you're looking at there at around 6.263, that sort of area. And definitely look out for a fake out to the downside.
Yeah.
If we've got slightly decent news tonight, we want to try and grab that little wick down if we get it.
Yeah.
It could actually turn out to be a great entry there.
Yeah, I think, and it's about a 1 to 20 risk reward at least.
Yeah.
But if you look at the daily and the 12 hour, I think if we start reversing here, we had this leading down here, and so then we started making higher highs here. We had a pullback. This is still a bullish chart for me. So if we talk about basic market structure, like higher highs, higher lows, we talk a lot about this on the after party as well, but also on here, is that it's very important to understand basic price action. And when you start making a reversal here, we started making a higher low because this is higher than the previous low, and then we make a higher high, which is higher than the previous high. So this is an absolutely healthy pullback for me, especially if we consider the manipulation that's going on. We are well in the discount area, and even if I can just yeah, so we're just touching oh no, we're actually in, yeah, so we are actually in the 618 and 786 golden zone. So the entry that I gave here is actually at the bottom of that golden zone. So, and this could be, I have, if we really, again, everything is if in my books, and then maybe some people who are more in depth in this can reflect as well. But I think if today we get good news, this is, as Jason said, is going to be a catalyst for a decent all season as well. And then this 1 to 35 risk reward is probably it has a high probability of playing out and long term.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of alpha setting up. Yo, what's up,
Sheldon?
What's happening? Are we showing some alpha here?
Looking at some H bar.
What's happening, guys?
Good
What's up? How are we doing? I see someone said Sheldon's late for his own party. Remember, this is the sniper team. I appreciate these guys jumping on and sharing. Fair, I love your you're good behind the camera, bro. You're good.
Thanks, man.
You're good.
You're
good. I see Dylan finally got back from Disneyland. He decided to disappear when the market turned bullish, and then he comes back and he's like, "I've been missing out so much. I got the FOMO, and since you've been back, it's been red."
But look, looks like we got some good entries here potentially.
Amazing.
I have to share a story with everybody. I owe Dylan a case of beers. Imagine that. So a month ago, we had a small bet when Bitcoin was still at around 28,500. The bet was that if price got to 30,000, I'm a case of beer. And
Correct.
if I didn't get there within, what was it? By the end of April, then he owes me a case of beer. So I owe Dylan a case of beer.
And I will be drinking.
I think that's why you came back to Cape Town.
So amazing. I think let's so obviously guys, I didn't do my show earlier. I'm doing a show over CPI. So I think this is a perfect live session just before, because we can speak about the two scenarios that can play out. What I am starting to see, what's been quite different than previous before is, usually we pump into CPI. It is something we've done many times. So if I have a look at Bitcoin, markets sort of holding. So Bitcoin had this very short time little break and retest. Obviously, we had the new highs yesterday, and we had a strong push. Quite a terrible 1 hour rejection candle. So we are obviously getting some of this rejection in this area. And remember, guys, for me, I can't think much further than Bitcoin getting near the temporary top now until proven or until broken through this major level. Like for me, 30 to 32K should be the top of this run for Bitcoin for now. Obviously, we get through that. There's a huge short squeeze that takes us to the higher levels, 36, 38. But for now, as it stands, we are getting to an area. And yet again, we have not only Bitcoin getting to this critical zone, which maybe CPI decides to send it today. Now, if that does happen, we're about to see something remarkable with the dominance. Obviously, now we've basically just surpassed. We've officially made the higher high. Then out of this range, which is something we haven't done for a long time. Something we've been sitting for 2 years in this range of dominance. And now we are at a point of a breakout of it. Now, I've spoken many times about this breakout, that at some point there is going to be run to alts. Yes. The only thing that's going to change my thesis that the alt season doesn't happen like today or tomorrow is if dominance breaks out. And the only reason for me of dominance breaking out is a higher Bitcoin. That means 30K where we've hit now is not the high. So if this dominance decides to break out, we can already see as soon as the market starts to turn slightly to the downside, you're seeing dominance go straight down. So as soon as there's any pullbacks in the market, you can see love goes back into altcoins. So it's still very much in that sense, which is great. That's at least we know the altcoins are protected to the downside because you've seen it many times. But if it just every time Bitcoin goes bullish again and we keep going up in the dominance, for me, Bitcoin is still fueled up. And now I got to look, someone just said 35 to 37K. The fact that dominance is breaking this high over here, that does become a possibility now. It does become a possibility of even possible a 40K Bitcoin. And that's the craziness of this break of the dominance. It's something we've been trending for a while. And the only time you're really going to have an extended run within the dominance is when you're going to have a really long Bitcoin run or rally. Now, I don't know about you guys, but with all the chaos going in the world, like Bitcoin probably looks a lot stronger than what it's looked for a very long time. A lot of people are looking at it as safety. And the more that there's junk going on out there, like Bitcoin is just that safety right now, which means it may go higher or push a lot more than what we think. But nonetheless, we are still at resistance for the Bitcoin dominance. The alt run can still come at any point. Now, guys, let's be honest. If we have a look here, altcoins still are moving. Okay. Yes, we've had a bit of a pullback on the weekly. Now you can see some of the altcoins now starting to pull back. Correct. But ultimately, what you are getting now is you're still getting, the popcorn effect. And you had Solana wake up. You had Render wake up. I saw we had Phantom and Near. So Near was an interesting one that I want to bring up here with you guys as well. I'll actually jump there to a second. But basically what we have is the alts are still going to grow with Bitcoin. But ultimately, the love is going to be with Bitcoin throughout the time. And you could see that if we do break this level over here, it just means the run's bigger. Now, if we do have to go to the times of when these runs happened, these big runs over here, this was the start of the bear market. We had the huge drop off in 2018. And then we basically started the bear market and dominance up, dominance up, dominance up. And, by the time it got to where Bitcoin needed to get, where it did get to 13K, it did get to these levels in the bear market, you know, then it got diversified. But end of the day, it did drop to like $3,000 and went up to 13K after that. And it's the same thing now. If Bitcoin does decide to break this, you know, you have the possibility of, you know, the mid 50s now, and then you have the possibility of the 60%. I like to look at it like this. So you're going to see a lot of this within the show as well. Of what I'm chatting, at least with the show today, we focus on CPI straight away because we're going to have the data as I'm starting the show 15 minutes before the data comes out. But I see it like this. If dominance decides to go to 55%, so it decides to break through this range over here, and it decides to go here, the 53%. For me, how that plots out on a Bitcoin chart is it plots out that we make our way to the areas of the 37. Let me just get the right chart. There we go. 36 to 38 is if that happens. Okay, so it just means a prolonged Bitcoin. If we go to the 60, I now see a 45 to 50K Bitcoin. That's the only way I see the dominance continuing on this rampage up, is for a way higher value Bitcoin. And the big thing is, you know, we spoke about it previously about how do they screw us right now. I think that's the perfect way to screw us, is you do send this bad boy to 50 because no one's ready for it. No one believes it. No one's ready for it. And it's going to get a lot of people to buy late. And, you know, for sharks, that's a huge way to make money. And again, with Bitcoin, support is on this 200 weekly. As long as we're above that, Bitcoin's bullish as hell. Every time before it held this line, we've been bullish. And that just becomes a great support now. You know, this stuff we were holding, and obviously we had the FTX collapse and things like that. So as things stand, I think let's just jump in quickly and let's go through a little bit of short-term analysis to see how does today play out. You know, firstly, we are getting to that level. And today can either prove to us that 30K is the top of this run, because what will basically happen is if news comes out bad today or the market reacts bad to the news, and Bitcoin does decide to actually have a real pullback, a proper one, you'll probably see you have this small one here, which is 28. But if it is the way I think it is, where this starts a pullback in stock market, I think let's actually quickly look at that and see, is the stock market's going up into CPI. I don't like that. I don't like that. I want the market to be going down in CPI, not up. But if that does happen, you know, we are at any point for a big correction within the stock market on the 4-hour on that. If that happens, you know, we've got two scenarios. Now, I want to paint the picture of what, for me, the rally is not over. Bitcoin rally might be over. And these are the signs we're going to look at if that does happen. Is you have the first little drop, maybe Bitcoin comes to 28, it will turn dominance. Dominance will definitely reject and come down if Bitcoin dumps pretty big. But what I'm thinking, if it goes bad today, I think this goes a lot more, actually. I actually think we go somewhere in the 26s, 27s. Now, altcoins, the dominance is going to come down hard if that happens. Dominance will come down hard. So alts will bleed, but they won't bleed as much. It'll be very much a Bitcoin bleed when that actually happens. But what that will do for me is it will bring the dominance down, finally get hopefully a lower high, and finally start the downtrend. So remember what I said, if this is the high, you're going to have a dump off. A dump off is how it starts. Now, if I go back to the chart quickly and I show you guys what this actually means, let's actually go to this chart here, was exactly these previous areas. And I showed it on yesterday's show. Weekly. Sorry, guys, let me just get a chart. Cool. Was this piece over here. So previously, this was a run, and this was a dominance run. This is where dominance was spiking all the way up, and it went up to high levels. This was Bitcoin dominance going on the upside. You know, love for Bitcoin. The wave started. And then you had this shakeout event here, where you basically had Bitcoin go from 41K all the way down to the 28K area. And when this happened is when the dominance finally turned, and we actually had a collapse in the dominance. So if we actually go back here, let me just get the exact dates. So it was January. So basically December, January of 2020, 2021. Here we go. So all of a sudden, this is where the start happens. There's the beginning of January. Over there, we had Bitcoin run up. All of a sudden, you had the big spike from Bitcoin. So if you look here, big two spikes over here, boom, Bitcoin got to a temporary high. And then what happened after that triggered altcoins. And basically after that, you had this huge surge of the altcoins to the downside. What did that create? It still created an upside Bitcoin. Doesn't mean the high is not in just yet. It's about when do they finally trigger altcoins with Bitcoin? because that first has to get Bitcoin to the crucial levels. Now, for example, when Bitcoin was fighting this war, no one cared about any altcoins or anything until the big thing was to finally get past the 2017 high. Once we were past the 2017 high and we started to get real ground and Bitcoin was at a key level, then they triggered the altcoins. Bitcoin still went up after that. Doesn't mean it's the full end. It's about when do the altcoins trigger. And this is what I spoke about yesterday on the show, where we do have a total market cap that did break through. And you could see these were the wicks over here that triggered. These wicks over here, that's what triggered the altcoins. Now we're at the point where we have a breakout, official breakout of the total. And then what obviously we're looking for next, and I'm hoping the Shanghai upgrade for ETH will hopefully give a bit of momentum for ETH. But you need the total 2 to break out, send ETH, send Solana, send AVAX, send all the major caps. And then after that, you start sending your smaller caps, which is the total 3s after that. So guys, the big question, I just want to number down before we get into some charts and some trades and what we're looking at, because now we're going to look at charts of where we're looking at buying if the market does dip off for CPI. We basically got 2 readings, I think. The last reading, the inflation was sitting at 6%, right? And they say the expectation this time is 5.1. Now, for me, if we do get even just the expectation of 5.1, that's a huge drop. You know, the one before that was 6.4. We dropped to, I think, 6 or 6.1. If we have 5.1, I think the market is going to absolutely rip. You know, I think it might give Bitcoin the momentum to maybe get through the 31, 32K level, which is quite crazy. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on it too. But that's definitely it. But now, if it does come higher than expected, I think the market is a short-term dip off. I think we buy that dip, and that's fantastic. If it obviously comes anywhere higher, we in shit. You know, this might start the huge dip off on Bitcoin. No, it's true. It's true. But what I mean by shit, I mean Bitcoin tanks hard. Then you know that dominance is turning, and basically you'll have the alt catch up after that. It's just about, is alt season today, tomorrow? Does it start right now? Buying alts now is still the thing that makes sense, because you're buying it before the spike actually comes. That's the huge thing. You don't want to buy it when the spike's already happening, because it gets impossible to not wreck yourself, because you're buying way too late and you're buying things and you're chasing and FOMO and these sort of things. So altcoins is still definitely the one to be loading up, because even if Bitcoin does decide to go to 40 from here, you're still going to have ETH creep up to 2.1 in that time. You're still going to have Solana creep up another 10, 20% in that time. You're still going to have a lot of alts that just creep up a little bit until that huge explosion comes therefore after. I think the big question is Bitcoin's pump over? I think that's the big question. Dole, Pepe, what do you guys think about that? While I start.
Look, CPI, I mean, it's a hell of a jump. The previous reading was 6%. So, you know, the market's obviously been trying to price in this forecast of 5.1%. But I think, you know, if we get a reading up to, say, 5.8 even, we might get an initial sort of dip over the next couple of days.
So this is what's worrying me. Is this. So I'm not worried about Bitcoin. It's just, if I'm looking at we're getting there for the Bitcoin high, like this RSI, you know, the weekly, as much as it is, like, it doesn't lie. It doesn't lie. You know what I mean? It doesn't lie. And yet again, we're hitting here. So it's just showing that there's not much time left. Maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks of Bitcoin pressure, and then we should have a decent correction on Bitcoin. Or
but that weekly can come down while Bitcoin just consolidates. Yeah.
Well, exactly that. So, for example, if Bitcoin goes up to 32 here and it just does this,
that's perfect.
Yeah,
this will come down.
Actually, what I see
is that to the bottom.
If you look at the dominance, there was a lot of inefficiency from like June last year with the huge dump that happened. So that needed to be filled, and that actually got filled. But the problem is that we created way more inefficiency on the way up. So if you look at the dominance, it's just crazy. Like this is not how markets should move, right? So there needs to be at some point at least a little bit of pullback, and it's sitting at the exact position where that could happen. And yes, 32 is probably what I'm looking at as well. 32 and then a little bit of pullback.
A pullback or a slow down. I think that's a big, but the only thing is, even if it slows down, what's going to make people go to altcoins? So you need like a correction. You do need it, a quick correction where like Bitcoin decides to build a flag on the higher time frames. But yet again, guys, you as hard as you're fighting it right now, that maybe I should be in Bitcoin, maybe I should somewhere else. Like, you have to stick to the plan. You cannot change the plan now. It's too late. You cannot abort mission. You're in the mission, because again, you have more signs again that the RSI is at the top on the weekly. It's at the top. It can linger here for a while, but at some point you're gonna have a distribution to altcoins. May that come now? Yes. May it come slightly later up here? Maybe, but it is coming. And if you do a simple thing of just understanding that we traders and it's risk to reward, you take your short thing here and trade it like a damn coin. And if you take this and you say, okay, amazing, that's my probability of getting stopped out or my risk. And that is my reward. And you look at it and what is it showing right now? Even if this spikes all the way to 52, 53, it's still showing a 1-to-3 risk to reward ratio right now. So it's showing you the understanding of it's the altcoins are way more better priced and way more less riskier, in my opinion, at the moment than actual Bitcoin. Where Bitcoin's at right now is just crazy for me to be changing my altcoins. You have to stick to the plan. So the plan always might be slightly extended, and this is why you'll see what the shows, guys. I'm sticking to my plan. I'm sticking to what I'm saying about it, and not just flipping bearish and this and that and these sort of things. I'm sticking to the plan that right now, at any point, the rejection can start now or it can go a little bit prolonged. But when it comes to this, there is a distribution coming to altcoins. Who knows? And this is just me being maybe crazy, maybe Bitcoin. And guys, I'm bullish, I'm extremely bullish. Maybe Bitcoin decides to dump from 220 from here. That dominance is coming all the way down to 42. These alts will hold and if not perform a lot more than Bitcoin. And ideally, that's always what we basically want to understand. So don't lose focus on what comes next. There hasn't been an Ethereum pump. There hasn't been a major alt pump. There hasn't been a micro alt pump. It's only been purely Bitcoin. And as much as you want to believe and think that everything in this world has changed all of a sudden, it has always respected the distribution between Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins. We have 10,000 alts here. They're not here for nothing. It's not all here just for one coin. They want to make money. And the way you make money is you release the total 2, you release the total 3, you get the FOMO in. Are you FOMOing to buy Bitcoin right now? As much as it's going up, I'm just happy because I know it's good for the market. I don't give a, I really don't. I don't care with Bitcoin going up. It's cool, but I have some of it, but I'm not FOMOing to say I just want to buy tons and tons and tons more Bitcoin. Like altcoins is what we want. These are things that what we really want to buy and things that we really want to get into. And that's going to create hype. That's going to create all these sort of things. Then the crazy liquidation wicks are coming. I don't think you guys understand. Where Bitcoin's at right now, when the money gets distributed, you're going to see a great altcoin pump at some point. You're going to, or great altcoin strength. But what you don't understand is if Bitcoin decides to go higher, you've got an even greater pump. Okay. But now you're gonna have to get ready because everything you've learned in the last year and everything you got used to is about to change. Because when you see, for example, you've just seen, you've seen basically nearly 100% growth in Bitcoin, in the last 3 months. One of these days, you're going to see a 30% dump in one day. If Bitcoin keeps going to 40, one day you'll see Bitcoin at 40 and go to 30,000 in one day. You don't even understand what comes when a bull market comes. Now, all of a sudden, leverage is pumping. Leverage is moving and the liquidators are there to make that money. And that's the thing. You fight these insane wicks. And that's what I'm trying to get to you guys, that make sure your altcoins are prepped now because it gets dirty later and it gets really hard later. Because these wicks come out, and if you time one trade wrong or you're buying too late to these things, you get absolutely destroyed. I'll say it again. When I started crypto, I started in these areas. I'm telling you guys, it's all from the heart and it's all from the truth. Because I did live it. This was one thing that I do have a lot of experience in. Is over here, I started literally here. Like I said previously, I started literally over there. Bitcoin was 10K and it was literally, I think 3,800 or 4,000 2 weeks later when I started, and I was up on this run. And I remember as Bitcoin was getting to 15, no one was saying it wasn't going to happen. And, we were short. And then we'd break out, okay, long a bit, and then, okay, short. And this whole run over here, guys, from Bitcoin from $4,000 all the way to $30,000 to $40,000, I made zero money, if not lost so much money in that time. I would make on some of my long pumps, but then I would lose it completely because of shorting and completely these sort of things. And that's the thing. You don't understand that the altcoins can go into this season at any point. I don't care who says what. Oh, it's not alt season now, it's only Bitcoin and stuff. Like, okay, amazing. But if it starts tomorrow, like you're going to get wrecked. You're going to get absolutely destroyed because you're not prepped for it all, because you're someone saying that it's only going in one direction. Guys, I'm pointing in both directions here. I'm ready for both scenarios. I just know if this market wakes up, I'm not screwing up like I screwed up the first time. I screwed up here. I only made money here, and I made good money here. And I started changing my life and doing things. But if I had it a bit earlier and I could get it a lot more early like that, I'm not repeating the same mistakes again. And that's why I'm not countering out that Bitcoin goes from here to 50 to 60,000. I don't care what anyone thinks. I don't care anything like that. I have levels and I have things that will help me if it can do it, because what the hell do I do? And then I have the same thing. If Bitcoin decides to go to 20, decides to go to 10, what the hell do I do? You know, through these things, you have to prep for both and you have to go. And right now it is telling you that Bitcoin is getting to resistance. Yes, but we do have dominance completely at the top right now. You've had no run from total 3, you've had no run from total 2, and you have altcoins just sitting and waiting. Maybe it's a Bitcoin dump, but if it's a Bitcoin dump, like a huge dump, your altcoins are about to outperform Bitcoin by 30 to 40% huge in those areas. And that's the thing, up or down to the side. So don't fall behind within the mindset. Don't get trapped into what's happening. And today might be the day. Maybe we do see a crazy Bitcoin. The only thing that concerns me is Bitcoin hasn't been running with the stock markets. They've been like doing a little bit opposite. Guys are enjoying this. Are you understanding the human element to this? Charts are amazing and stuff, but I'm trying to help you from my experience. I went through this. I promise you, and it was like, it was confusing. I was making no money, but Bitcoin literally 5x'd in front of my eyes and I'm making zero money. And I'm like, what's going on? Because I had people next to me telling me it's coming down. And they're telling me it's not going to happen. We're not going to break all-time high. We're not going to this. We just came through COVID. We just came through this. FUD. And I just went for like months of this thing going up and I made zero damn money because I was just listening to everyone else. And same again, everyone's saying we'll turn here or everyone's saying bull markets. And that's the thing, it plays both favors, both ways. Because I got trapped too in the bull market. I got trapped in the same thing. When I was there with you guys and helping you guys every day, I'm just this kid looking at this market and like, I'm trading it with you. It's my first bull run too. You know, it's my first thing with all of that. And same thing. We're all going to the moon. We're going to 100K. We're going to this. We're going to that. Holy shit, have we learned a lesson? We've learned a lot along this journey. And yet we still survive. And this time we can say we're damn flipping lucky that we survived all of this. And we get to possibly restart the cycle right now. May it start today. May it start in 3 months. We're starting here, baby. We're starting here. And that's the beauty. That's the beauty. And we're not missing this. And I'm going to fight with you guys every day. We had 1,000 people on this call last week, Friday. We have 660 now. You have to stay strong. They're waiting for a pump. As soon as the altcoins pump, this thing's back to 1,000 by tomorrow. That's how it happens. Like
give you a heads up, brother. You are on 1,000. The others are just on the YouTube stream.
No, where's my 1,000 on YouTube? No, we had 1,400 last week. That's what I'm trying to say. So, you know, understand that you can see how the mental game here and how it shakes people out very often, very quickly. And you have to stick to the game. So I'm sitting here saying altcoins. There's a reason for that. There's a huge reason. Okay, now that I'm done with the heart-to-heart, let's jump into some analysis and see what's going on. So, first thing, there might be some big ass. What's up? What's up, Chris? What's happening, bro? There might be some big ass shorts if this market decides to turn today. I think there could be some big ones. I'm still slightly 51% that we're still bullish at the moment, just slightly above that. But if the market, let's talk about both scenarios quickly, and let's zoom in again, and let's go look where we're at on Bitcoin, and let's get a little bit of understanding. So the thing is with Bitcoin right now is it broke through this what do you call it? Resistance over here, and it's obviously started another short squeeze. We ended up going to 30K, and technically this is support. So for me, if there is a okay reading today, so meaning that it's we're expecting 5.1, maybe it comes in at 5.7. It's still better than before, but it's still not what we wanted or what we expected or anything like that. I think this starts a short-term correction. And maybe Bitcoin to the mid 28. I don't think too much damage after that just yet or anything like that. How we do, however, protect ourselves from that is we have that same trend line that held that beautiful support that gave us the breakout is the same one over there. The day we close below this is when a real pullback is starting with Bitcoin. So if there's okay news today, there's a little pullback, and it's probably a great buy the dip situation within Bitcoin and within altcoins too, if that happens. So then what we have is incredibly bad reading. If so, and Bitcoin loses the 28,000, this could be a correction to 2625, and just be aware. So I wouldn't have any short-term trades available unless they're very big stops, but still be aware you might give away all your profits. through that. But if there's something really bad now, bullish scenario is obviously we zoom in slightly because we need a little bit more data. Just get rid of that cross. There we go. Let's zoom in to the 1 hour and let's get a little bit of a feel of where we're at here. So we have this trend line over there in play, which we're sitting on resistance right now. If we obviously break that, expect Bitcoin to attempt the tops again. I still think 32 is the top. I think we're touching the zone. I don't think we're done yet. I think a little bit higher than the 30,500. So maybe the 32, anywhere in that range. I do think, obviously, bullish now. We start to rip that a bit. However, even if it is bullish news, there's still a small thing in me that maybe they still dip the market off quickly first. We shall see. But ultimately, this is going to be the trend. And if it comes down to like 10 minutes or 20 minutes before, and this starts to go up, we start to pump quickly with Bitcoin. Probably just be aware that they are going to trap you and then do what they've been doing majority of the times, where they do something like this. And then they go again. So they send it through now. You think, oh, it's about to go great. They rip you. They send it back up. You think, oh, I said it was just a liquidation. They send it back down and they rip you for a few days. This would probably be really good for altcoins, though, if that does happen. But if the market is bullish, guys, and for example, what I want to see is a small dip off into the news now, and we do break this pretty good. These are the two tokens. Near protocol. Something's happening. Something's happening.
Also, Sheldon, yesterday, Total 3 got rejected. After we got off, Total 3 got rejected, and it's almost at support.
Total 3 did get rejected, definitely. And that's because Dominance is about to break one of the biggest ranges for a long time. So that's why you got to sort of be selective with alts now. You've made your decision with the alt portfolio and you stick to that. High time frame, it looks amazing. At any point, the alt run's coming for the majority of the alts and the good ones. But what's next as well is you have selective alt pumps. So you don't just have, even if Bitcoin pumps to 35 now, you're going to have one or two altcoins that are going to do crazy things with it. And that's why for now, I'm still saying that dominance is strong and Bitcoin can go higher, 100%. What altcoins are beating Bitcoin right now? And that's the ones we should be focusing on. So if Bitcoin turns bullish, let's find the altcoin that's more bullish than Bitcoin and let's trade those. And for me, the two that highlight is Near Protocol and Solana. Those are the two that are highlighting pretty good right now, these two tokens over here. And it's giving me a little feel like, look at this, guys. This is not bad. You know, not bad for tokens where the rest are all printing red. Look at Near from this morning. Absolutely ripping up to the upside. So these are the two that I'm focusing on if markets turn bullish that I want to be in some trades. And I'll look at now possibly one or two setups to show you how to take these trades if they do. You could see this beautifully with Near as it speaks. I would probably give it 20 minutes to half an hour after the CPI is out to confirm. For example, if Near breaks out now, as soon as the news comes out, I'll just wait slightly, you know, just to make sure that the craziness is done for a little while. And then if we're above this trend, I'll go in because I think Near is going to rip. We're seeing crazy volume. We're seeing a break on the Bitcoin pairing, and there's the flag for you. So I wouldn't even have the support. That's the break there. To get that break, I think it's going to be great. Stop loss on a low. I think Near runs. I think this could be, if Bitcoin goes bullish here, I think this could be the run for Near to 2.4 to 2.6. So it can be a big one. And then we obviously have big dog Solana. So what I want to see with Solana here is we have two plays. The first play that will probably look to play out now. Let's just have a look. I'm hoping we do have a little bit of a dump off. I do still have one or two small longs with it. I'm hoping we do have a bit of a dump off now, just so we can identify this trend. So if this dumps off over here and we come down, that's amazing. And now we have this trend in play, and that's the same thing. I'll give it a little bit of time up CPI, but as soon as this breaks again, guys, I think this could be Solana's time. I really do. Like, you know, even for the short period, it may be Solana's week. But I think when it comes to Solana and when it comes to the higher time frame things, just remember again, you know, where Solana's breaking here. So you have this long weekly trend. This was not right, what happened to Solana. This was just, you know, the FTX and the whole sort of thing. But look at that trend, guys. That's weekly. That's a big one. So for me, this takes Solana to two areas. You got this major area here. Okay, but we've hit that area a few times already. So we have eaten a little bit from that wall. And then you have the real areas after that, you know, where you start getting back to these zones here. So I feel that even if dominance continues up and Bitcoin does decide to go higher, you're going to have a few alts. And for me, Solana's definitely looking like one of them. That's a great weekly candle. You know, all the dump that Solana's happened over the last 4 weeks have literally been absorbed over one day. So it just shows you that there's something happening there. There's buying there right now. And if the markets turn bullish, this is one of the tokens you want to be trading. You know, yesterday I took some of the trades, and I'll show you here. Where's that buy bit? You guys saw I took Solana, and you guys saw this account started off way lower. It's on $1,800 now, nearly 1,900. This one was 400, you know, when I was starting with the thing. So you could see how well that Solana got me. And now I'm looking at possibly one or two small ones now to get there. But if you can hit a hot run with Solana, so let's say the rest of the alts don't wake up just yet for another week or two, but Solana does decide to go to 30 and you can hit it on a hot run, you can double to triple some accounts, get them to decent sizes by the time the rest of major alts break the major trends. And that's where you got to do it. This is actually best scenario, because you know what really sucks is if the whole altcoin market takes off now, which one do you choose? And then what sucks is sometimes you choose the right one, and then sometimes you have like 10 alts pumping and you choose the one that doesn't. How many of you put your hand up if you've done that before? Many times. Yes. You're like, why is my coin not moving? Like, you know, like even me on the show, I'll give 4 trades. 3 of them will explode through the roof and the one won't, and that's the one you chose. And that's why right now, like, be grateful that it's only Nia and Sol. Because right now, because when all of them go, you also have the risk of choosing the wrong coin that doesn't do anything. So right now, if we do only have a Sol and Nia pump for the next 2-3 days, great. It means I know where to trade. But it's when it's you have 200 altcoins pumping on a day. Where do I go? You know what I mean? And that's heartbreaking. Exactly. There's many people that relate and understand what I'm trying to say. So right now, pay attention to Solana. This is one that I think you guys can nail. I think everything you've learned through school, sitting with us every day, I think if Solana hits a run, you're getting at a really good level, and you're getting at a zone where it's also respecting. It's respecting a breakout now. It's respecting bull flags pretty good. So it's also acting pretty natural at the moment, which is good. So at the moment, looking pretty good there. So I think Solana and Nia. What else?
Sheldon,
So did anyone see PBX? Did anyone see this? This PBX this morning. Bro, that's a huge market buy. I don't know what that is. Like on the high time, remember, this is one I'm accumulating for a long time. But holy shit, is that not a little bit of interest or something? I don't know. Even you look at this thing on the hour, not a bad candle. That's literally one candle. I don't know what's happening here, but you got an 87% candle. Here we had a previous one too. So again, it's just showing that small caps are not running yet, but big guys are buying them while they're accumulating. And that's why you get these random little spikes that just come now and then. There's another spike over there. And you'll just see these random little pushes that come now and then. Spike, spike, spike. It's crazy, guys. It's crazy how you see these sort of things. But that's how you know. So for me, you know, when small caps or major alts move at any point, or medium alts and these things, they're very hard, because, you know, we saw it with Phantom this year. I think it did 200% in January, and we saw it with Render this year as well. We did 400% in January too. So when they go, they go. So just pay attention again. Keep calm with it. Waiting for Mana. What about Doge? I'll have a look. So Doge, I'm still very happy with. I just reduced those positions yesterday. I hope you guys did too, but I'll update on Doge. I still think Doge is ripping. We're just waiting to see, like, is this a tougher Bitcoin? Are we dumping off first? You know, that's the question. That's the question. So for me...
Sorry, we did speak about a layer 1 run. You remember a few weeks ago?
Yeah.
That hasn't happened yet.
That hasn't happened. That's why I'm not surprised to see Solana and Nia getting ready to go, because they never got January. The rest of the coins got January. So guys, for me, Doge is still in a great position. It filled the liquidity. So remember, when something moves too fast, it always likes to come back. It means that they try to fill their bags. Price went too fast. They send it back so they can fill the rest of their bags. But either way, this is a huge buying up of Doge. So for me, Doge is still good. And now you do have another trend. You have another trend that's playing out. So over here, let's see, still on support. So keep eye of that support trend. And then what you have is the breakout trend too. So if that breaks out, I still think a good Doge push and pump is coming. Okay, guys, what I do have to do, that's me for now. I have so much more on the show. I got to prep for it. So I think you guys will stay on for another 15, 20 minutes till my show starts. I need to go prepare for a show, guys. And
I just wanted to add one thing to what you were saying, is that a lot of people jump in and out of trades. They have great ideas, great setups, and then they read something on Twitter and do something else. So the fact that you see Sheldon with his conviction that it is going to go that way, he's sticking his strategy, he said what he said, and it's not because he's like, like closed in, but it's because he believes in his strategy. And it's very important for you also to like understand what you're doing, have a strategy, and issues only happen and doubts only happen if you don't know what you're doing. So even if he's wrong, he will know where he messed up and will learn and move on. So it's just very important not to read something on Twitter and just abandon your strategy because some random dude, a capo dude or whatever, said that we're going to go to 12K, and it's very important to do that. So
that's the perfect example of it. Like, look at capo now. In that sense, he nailed it last year. He nailed the whole of the bear market, but it's 1 year later and the market changed, and you have to move with the change. You don't move with the change. That's what happens. And now he's just destroyed. Like, he's destroying his whole rep now because he's saying the same thing. It's not flowing. People are waiting. They don't know what to do. So yeah, cool, guys. Much love. I'll see you guys on the show now.
Later.
And Sheldon.
Yeah. So guys, just carrying on from what Sheldon was saying and talking about strategy and sticking to your guns. I mean, how many times have you been in a situation where you call a long for yourself? And then 10 minutes later, you change your mind, you hit the short and you get a wick the wrong way, and then it goes against you and you do the double loss. If you're sitting here and you've been trading, it's probably happened to you. So, you got to stick to your strategy. If you have a plan, stick to it. You'll plan your trade before. Hopefully you're not just randomly jumping into positions. So, before a trade comes, you're going to have your exit point, you're going to have your TP, and there's some structure to it. And stick to your guns, that's your trade, and back it, because the market's here and it's designed to mess with you and take your money. And they sometimes want to trick you into going the wrong way. So just be aware of that, especially at times like this afternoon with the CPI coming.
Yeah,
we might see some huge volatility today.
Yeah, actually, Jackie, can you please highlight Mason? And could you, Mason, just run through what you think? I think Mason has a
I'll
very,
highlight
very
him
good
now.
perspective on what the market is doing and what's happening. So if you could share, Mason, I think it would be very, very valuable for everybody to see what you think was going to happen and what's your thought on the market, on maybe the market cap and also Bitcoin. And
okay, Jagan doesn't have a camera on, so he can't be spotlighted.
Yeah.
But he's sharing, so it's good.
Yes. So till the BTC breaks its low, we can't actually turn bearish. That's the actual view. That's what I'm waiting for. So till then, you can actually long. This is actually a major level on the 15-minute that the price is holding. The whole market is coming down while BTC is still holding this price level. So that means like people are putting their money from altcoins into Bitcoin mainly. So that's what it means. And I'm still waiting for the news to happen.
Is it the 29,240 or what are you looking at? What price level is that?
29,736. Yeah. So currently, yes, most of the liquidity has been swept by this wick. It has been creating liquidity, but I don't think that this one is enough. But let's see when the news comes. So that's my view on BTC. I'm just waiting. And on the dailies, it has creating that's what BTC says. So still, I'm expecting this pullback to happen. This is actually BTC is currently in a major supply. Okay, so the supply which broke through major support zones earlier. So this is actually a major supply. So I do expect that this supply to get respected. And just because the market showed a huge imbalance over here, it's going to have to do some pullback no matter what. Okay, so I do expect that to happen now. Otherwise, the market is actually moving in a healthy manner. So that is
what do you think about the total market cap?
total, it's coming down. It's coming down. It's coming down on the shorter time frames. So yes, on the 15 minutes, I think it's actually like this will be the base. So this base will act as a demand area. Okay, this whole area is going to act as a demand. So price over here. Okay, price may hold. So we can't actually confirmly say that it's going to hold, but let's see how the news is going to be. And if the news comes out positive, this can be a good area where you can long.
Gotcha. Cool stuff.
Will
Man.
be in about which is like a 1% dump almost, and that's gonna take BTC. Yeah, maybe BTC can hold these levels. Let's see. And the altcoins are gonna, if the total market cap is gonna dump 1%, the altcoins are gonna dump at least like 3% or 2.5%. So watch out for that thing. So on the total market cap, we have like 1% more downside for this base to happen. So let's see how it goes.
Let's see. Sheldon will have a show going on. So thanks for sharing, man.
Many time, bros. Like we have like 30 more minutes.
Yeah.
To happen. I'm just waiting for it.
Nice, guys. We're gonna find out shortly, huh?
Yeah. I'm actually going for gold today.
All right, Dylan, you want to share or share your?
Guys, I think let's watch what happens. Stick to your guns, back your levels. Are any of you guys on Sheldon's Discord? If you aren't, you'll see regularly we got 20 to 30 charts on the Discord giving levels and areas and some thoughts. So that should you can use that as a guide. Yeah, it's on the Banter Hub. So you can use that as a guide for your own strategies and see if it ties in with what you're thinking. And just use our thoughts and ideas there with your strategies.
Cool stuff. Yeah.
Cool, guys.
I need to go. I think Dylan needs to go.
We're jumping.
I need to go as well. Do you guys have I don't think we should take questions, because we've got a lot of stuff. I think for rounding everything up is very important. You guys attend these sessions because this is going to be, every day we're going to do something different. We're going to chart, we're going to talk psychology. We're going to do, all kinds of different things, share alpha, and also see you in the Discord. We've got the school Discord as well, where you can just come tag us. You can just use @SniperMantis, and then you can get feedback on charts. I see more and more people use that. That's very, very cool. And yeah, see you on the events Monday, Wednesday, and the after parties. Right. Thank you guys for being here. Awesome.
Cheers, everybody.
Take care. Ciao, everybody. Ciao. Have a great day.
Ciao, guys.
See you guys. Trade safe.
Peace, love.
However,